This is a JustTheFab.com exclusive.
We just had a big loss in the industry, Heavy D, and he basically launched your career and put you on the map for the whole world to see, and we're so grateful for that. What was it like when you heard the news and you heard of his passing?
Well, as you can imagine, I was devastated. Probably it was shock. I was really shocked. Like, that was the last thing I expected to hear that day. Immediately, my mind went to his daughter because I knew how close they were, and I lost my dad at 9, and so my immediate prayer went for to her, because at this point, in what I believe, I have very, very strong belief in God and higher power, and when people move on to the next plane, I know they're okay. I believe they're okay. So it's us that are left to mourn, and I felt safe that I felt comfortable that he was okay, but it was everybody else, and especially his daughter. So.
And when was the last time you spoke to him? What was your last conversation with him like?
Oh, I actually, it was, I think, maybe about 6 months prior, and I had given him a call about some business. Like, we would keep in touch, Twitter, and, I was just about to reach out to him about doing some work, and kind of, because I was working on my fourth project, and I felt like it was time for us to, kind of, men may be too strong of a word, because I don't think, maybe reconnect, and I was looking forward to that, and sharing with him my journey up until that point, and letting him know where I've been and that I was all right. And, a little bit of that saddened me that I wouldn't have that opportunity, but I knew that he knew now that I was okay.
Did you guys have a falling out, or did anything happen while your relationship just kind of like ended?
Well, I think, I would think that it wasn't anything in particular. I think it was both the immaturity, or the youth of both of us. Him being a little older and being my mentor, and very passionate and stubborn and strong-willed, and me being the same way, free-spirited. I listened, and I allowed him to guide me, and I did trust him. But I was young, and I felt I had some things that I wanted to try, and I guess he felt protective, and when I wanted to use some other producers on the second project, he was, we had already started working on some stuff, and when I expressed it, I said, well, you could do half the album, and then I can work with other people. I mean, I thought that was pretty normal and fair, and he didn't like that idea, so he ended up not doing anything for the project. He, opted to not produce anything on the album, and it wasn't really, I wasn't angry. I was probably disappointed and didn't understand. But I know him, and so I got it, moved on, and we just, we would keep in touch every now and then. And when we saw each other, it was all love. I mean, it could be nothing but, we had a really, he introduced me to the world as a recording artist, and believed in me. And just like that, he made it happen because of that. So he was an integral part of my career, if not, the big part that made the train start moving in this genre. So, I will always be appreciative and love him for that.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, you had some hits. You had everybody singing "It's Been Too Long," and everybody was like, it was just such a shock when we didn't see you anymore. Tell your fans, tell us what happened, because we was looking for you.
Let me tell you. So, life happened. When I did the third album, it didn't do as well as the other ones, but it did well to not have any promotion behind it. They kind of just threw it against the wall to see if it would stick. I was really no one's baby up at the label. Once had left the CEO position, and then I had a 6-album deal, so I still had albums to fulfill. And I went on, and I enjoyed it. Teddy Riley produced that album, and creatively, it felt like the best, of me up until that point. I was very happy with the project, and it did. We released "I Can Tell," a single speaking of, you can tell what a guy is all about and blah, blah, blah. And, me being forward and ahead of my time. I'm an Aquarian. I was in different environments where I understood, I was speaking the message of the down low brother at that time. This is 2000. And I decided to direct the video along with Cinda Hamry, co-directed, but it was my treatment. And I had a, pretty, at the time they didn't go over well, but it was a message of, trying to tell women and people to be aware, because everything that, looks, every duck is not always a duck because it, so and to be very careful and to protect themselves. I've been, I lost my brother to AIDS, and it became very important to me to speak that message, and especially from seeing, men and women, play both sides of the fence and not be walking in their truth and honest about it. Their bisexuality or whatever. They Universal decided to drop me, which came in a really weird way. There was no phone call to my lawyer. There was no phone call to me saying, well, we would like to, end this working, part ways in this relationship. There was nothing. I got a box to my apartment, and the doorman brought it up, and that was it. It was a whole bunch of reels and of all the talk shows I had done, shows, Soul Train, anything. And that was it. Wow. So I didn't realize at the time how it affected me, and because I felt like I didn't define myself by being signed. I was, Monifah since I was in the womb. And I just never felt, I think I fell out of love with the business, the business part I was jaded by. And I just never, I got gun shy, and I kind of was depressed. I didn't realize that I was depressed, and just, drinking a lot, and,
Well, there were rumors that you left the industry because you had an addiction to cocaine. Would you like to elaborate on that? Is that true?
No, actually, the addiction came later. I was gone, basically. I didn't look for another deal before that part of my life started. And it was only I've been clean a year and a half, and I was using for 7 years. I left before that, but in the interim after that, things, depression, not really having the passion, trying to find my way, led me down a path of numbing, not dealing, and not just about this business, because it is about, our experiences shape us as children, things that you go through as a child, things that you go, they affect you. And so I was not only dealing with what happened in the abandonment issues that I think were dredged up once I was dropped from the label. It kicked up a lot of personal things. I lost my dad at 9. I lost my brother. I lost my aunt. These are people very close to me. I don't think I dealt with them, the loss, fully in the correct way. And it kicked up a lot of abandonment issues that I had. And so, and the symptom of that was the addiction, looking for something to numb or to escape to, and which is, that story is, this ain't no different story than, that's the story. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, we have to say congratulations on your 1 year sobriety. That's very admirable, and that's definitely an accomplishment. Reality show coming out with Faith Evans, with Kiki Wyatt, with Selena Johnson, R&B Divas.
Some really trying times, and have come through by the grace of God, and stronger and grateful and happy and not bitter and not blaming anyone, and taking, being accountable. So, we fight, love, and laugh, like evident,
Is there going to be fighting and bottles being thrown?
Absolutely not. And not to, and again, that is an aspect of, people's lives that is real. We're choosing to focus on other things. I don't want to say positivity, I mean, but we are, and we stand in the solution of things. There's always going to be conflict, and it's always going to be things that you have to work through. But it's about the resolution and you know what I mean, and making choices and dealing with each other with love. You know what I mean? That's the big difference. We're real friends. We're not, people coming from obscurity trying to be famous. We've worked hard. We have our own brands. We're all 5 different branded women, and successful women, and we're not coming into it to be famous. We're coming in to share our story.
And that's the difference.
Big
This
difference.
is a JustTheFab.com exclusive.